Hello, it's Ricardo, and with the Beyond 3.0 update with us, I thought it's probably important to talk about some of the engineering improvements that have been implemented into Beyond Chapter 1. Now, engineering has gained a significant update in the Beyond Chapter 1 release, focused on a single principle, and this principle being the process should always result in a sense of progressive improvement. And this comes precisely from the blog, right, that Frontier put out onto the forum. Now, whereas before you would have noticed within the system you had the little spinny wheel and you could never really work out whether or not what you were doing was an improvement. I mean, I would engineer some of my ships up, especially the cutter, right the way up and try and get a decent jump range, as you do. And then I'd be working towards that level 5 improvement. Am I doing any good or not? And it's only until you come out and go back in and work out your jump range you actually realise. And that was a big problem, right? And the community did go out and I wouldn't say complain, but make some suggestions. So Frontier have drastically reworked this. They continue. In this updated system, you progress a module's capability through a series of modification grades, as before, with every upgrade you craft working towards an improvement. Well, that was the hope, but it never happened. Any penalties are static and visible up front, so you know whether to re-engineer or not, I'd imagine. Experimental effects are no longer randomly applied, but can be purchased by spending materials, putting the choice fully in your hands. Excellent. Don't mind going out and mining, or collecting, or shooting things to get the items to give to the engineer, or giving them tea, or whatever, right? As long as it's going to be of some benefit. Together with remote engineering from any starport that has an outfitting section, a new material trader contact, that's something we're going to have a look at, 100 units per material storage facility, not just 1,000, which was a bit restrictive, I've got to say, and you ended up dumping an awful lot of materials that you were going to need, or just collecting stuff that you thought you were going to need, like Guardian Tech, for example, or Guardian Crystals, or whatever they were, and then finding you never needed them. And additional target information for materials. There's never been a better time to upgrade your favourite ship. Well, that's a little bit cheesy. There's never been a better time to upgrade your favourite ship. Well, it was better than before, I suppose. Okay, the materials trader. This is something that we're going to have a drastic look at. Materials Trader. Now, added new contact called Materials Trader to give players the ability to hand in materials in exchange for others at set exchange rates, based on grade and material type. This will allow players to trade for rare items or items obtained by gameplay they do not want. Overtly stockpiling materials as well can then be turned into materials that you want. This is not intended to replace material gathering completely, but be a useful tool to help shorten the gameplay loops around gathering materials, making engineering and unlocking items at the tech broker more accessible. Now, the tech broker is a completely different subject. The Materials Trader allows players to trade one material of another in a single trade. Only one trade at a time can be completed. Material traders operate on a true barter system. There's no credits involved. And traders are split into types. And they are raw, manufactured, and encoded. Each trader type only trades in their type of materials and can be found in different economy types. Location of material traders can be found. Raw materials traders, for example, can be found at extractions and refinery economies. And they only trade in raw materials found on planet surfaces and planetary rings. Manufactured materials traders are found in industrial economies, only trade in manufactured materials, as you'd expect. Encoded materials trader are found at high-tech and military economies, and they only trade in encoded materials, no surprise there. And also there's a requirement that systems also need to be mid to high security systems and have populations between 1 million and 22 million. Not quite as straightforward as some other stuff. Material trades will not show up in lawless in anarchy systems. Material traders will not show up at stations that are currently controlled by a criminal faction. I suppose they got ethics then. Material traders will be unavailable when a station is damaged or under repair, or put on lockdown. Now on Steam they were doing a deal where you could buy Elite Dangerous and Horizons and a Commander pack for next to nothing. It's about £20 really. Obviously this is for the PC. And the update for Horizons has been around for quite some time. I don't think it's particularly expensive when you consider, if you do play the game, how much you do get for it. So I'd encourage people to go out and get that. I mean, I've went and got a second Commander myself for my reboot series, where I start Elite Dangerous again and start trading up. And the community response to that has been quite good, because people have gone, oh, you know, it's been such a grind getting where I am, and it's nice to get back to the smaller ships. So check out for that on a Saturday. 6 PM GMT is when we release new episodes, and there's also 3 episodes currently on there, if not more in the playlist, so check that out on the channel. So continuing, material traders can be found using the new by service map view configuration option. This is a 40 light year range and only shows traders that you have discovered. Brilliant. So I dare say you'd be looking at the forums where those traders could be. Material traders will also be shown on the star map in the station services list, and material traders will appear in the human bubble, Colonia and Pleiades regions at economies types listed above, or listed previously. So those economies being, you know, high-tech economies, industrial economies, and extraction and refinery economies. Now, also mentioned in my other video as well, there was Galnet Audio. At the simple click of the button, they write, you will now be able to listen to Galnet Audio whilst flying your ship. All you have to do is select the play button at the bottom of the right-hand system panel in your cockpit to play through the headline news stories. If you're looking for a specific story or want to curate your own playlist of hand-picked news, you can do so by opening up Galnet News from the same panel and select the stories individually. Galnet News will fade in and out depending on the situation, and stop altogether in some key situations. In some cases, such as counting down to hyperspace jumps, the news will pause and then resume once the countdown is complete. The story or playlist will continue from where you left off. So, a nice little feature, at least you get up to date on the news, eh? Now there's also the Covas customization. Now I've got the Holly, or Norman Lovett voice that I seldom use on Elite Dangerous, but Frontier Developments have built an additional voice in to the general game. Changing your COVAS, which stands for Cockpit Voice Assistant, is a new addition to Elite Dangerous. The first of these will be Victor, ready at the launch of Chapter 1 Beyond. Commanders will be able to change their COVAS at the Starport Services Library Customization section. So check that out. It'll also be possible to change the COVAS for your SRV too. So head over to the SRV Customization Bay to change your preference. So that was some changes to engineering. I've been Ricardo. This has been Elite Dangerous Beyond Chapter 1. So let's keep apprised of what the engineering improvements are. And I dare say we're going to go out and do some videos on the materials trader and see how that works in much detail. And well, we've got to change the COVAS to Victor, haven't we? And listen to a bit of news. But I think the materials trader is a good added bonus, and certainly the engineering improvement is going to help players progress and won't be so frustrated. I've been Ricardo. Thanks very much for watching, and check back for more videos in the series. They should be coming thick and fast.